to sync everything back up. And there we go. Good afternoon, Shaky SoCal Tour for Forza, and head into the final week of the season of Thursday Night Thunder in the Corvette C8.R. We're going to have two very different tracks. Last week was Fantasy Week. This week is Yas and Le Mans. So we'll do the first track out here at Yas Marina. It's probably the one I feel least comfortable on because I don't play the F1 game, so I'm still trying to figure out what works for the new hairpins at the far ends of the track. But what I'll do is I want to do what I normally do. So I'll go out and run a couple of laps, just try and see if I can get things sorted out. Then I'll, probably do a slower lap, talk about what I'm looking at, what I think the car's doing. Granted, I'm running my own setup with my own, suspension settings, something like that. So I can at least describe what I'm going through. And then that might guide you. If you're going to use my setup, then you know what to expect. Expect. There we go. Use the English language. Or if you're doing your own setup and you're trying to tune it out, then hopefully maybe there's something that I'm experiencing that maybe then you can make adjustments and at least watch out for. But enough talking. Let's go ahead and do test drive. Let's just do those couple of out laps. I am running soft tires, about 25% fuel, so about 5 laps worth of fuel in the car. Let's go ahead and start the race. The other thing I'm just going to point out now, at least for the tune I'm running, as the AI just already sets me off on a dirty lap, is I first started doing the tune and doing gearings, trying to use 6 gears, and I found that getting into just overall, the technical stadium section part, that second gear was too short and third gear was too long. So I went, redid the gear ratios for a 5-gear tune, and that seems, at least for me, as far as just the overall feel, that seems to work well for me. And I'm not having too much of an issue with it, or at least the car feels more comfortable. Still have to be careful of the wheel spin out of some of the really sharper corners. And then I think just my general impression is that the curbing is still, I know that they've tweaked some of the curbing where it's maybe not as severe, but it's still, you're still going to want to really be kind of cautious on some of them. So if you're not running traction control, this might be one I would not, berate anybody that decides to use it, particularly trying to get the power down. See, I'm still braking for the old Yas, especially Kirby. Especially for some of the slow sections and the second gear corners, you might need a little TC help to help get the power down and keep the back tires from spinning up. And I know that even the softs take about a lap, I think, to get to 10. That turn also, I think they've reprofiled. It doesn't seem as severe as it was in the previous one. So let's do one more lap, see if I can do a little bit better. Taking a much later apex, that's probably going to bite. I'm probably going to get a lot of people taking looks if I keep doing that line in the race. But this one, the braking line lies to you a little bit. channeling the throttle if you're not using traction control there. That would be that turn and a couple of the infield ones around the hotel. Like I'm debating, but we'll see how. Yeah, still trying to get the braking right. I know I suck at that turn because it's. I kind of miss the old chicane, but it's just mainly just because it's not. It's more of a trail braking corner, and I'm not the best trail breaker. And I tend to turn it too early, but that's the hot laps. Let me slow it down a little bit. Let's just talk about what I'm going through and learn from my mistakes or learn what I do well. So braking for turn one, fourth, well, I might be up to, I'll at least be in fourth gear. For me on a 5-gear tune, this is third for me. Braking is going to be, I'm going to be looking at where the curbing goes to the red and white striping. Also looking at the one board, it's somewhere in here as far as trying to correlate it. But for me, third gear corner. Curbing, I'm finding this outside curbing is okay. I'm going to tend to stay neat and tidy as much as I can, not use the curbing unless I absolutely have to. Because some of the curbing's not too bad, but some of it's still, at least for the setup I'm running, can unsettle the car pretty easily. So turn one. And here, if I do it right, third gear corner, I can get on the curbing here a little bit. And I would say, if you look at the general profile of this curbing, any of the curbing where from the edge as it goes in, if it's going up and then drops off, it's going to be a little bit rougher. There's a couple different kinds of curbing around yachts, but this, just be mindful of. You can get on it, but it will bubble the car if you don't hit it right. Third gear corner out. Again, you can use, if you look at this one and see it, this one is just, it's ridged. It's got definite ridges to it. And the very inside, it's got the little bit of a lip, but for the most part, it's flat. So this one won't be as severe. If you want to get your tires on it, it is going to bop the car a little bit, but it's not as severe as the angled curbing there. So generally, I might get my tires on it a little bit. It used to smooth out about here, but not anymore. So if you do get on the exit curbing, try it. I'm probably going to try and cheat the car back over a little bit, because the last thing I want is a lot of, having the right sides bouncing up and down on that curbing right when I'm to, turn left and throw a whole bunch of weight on that side of the car. Just trying to minimize any of the back end wanting to step out or any upset. Yeah, you'll probably be able to get away with it, but we'll see how we do in the race. But for me on a 5-gear tune, I'm up in third gear coming up the hill here. The turn-in point, I'm actually listening to the car and the gearing more than looking for a reference point in the track. This is why I switched to a 5-gear tune. So right about at the top of third gear, if I've got turn one exit right, is about where I would upshift to fourth gear. And I think on my own, ideally, that's what I'll be looking to do, is that my turn-in point is going to be as I'm shifting to fourth and trying to turn the car in. And this curbing, you can use a bit of it. Again, it's got that, it's like turn one, it's got that, the incline drop off. So it'll be a little bit rougher if you hit it, but most of your weight's going to be on the right side of the car at this point. So you probably can get away with it. Probably shouldn't upset the car too much. Fourth gear, coming up across. If you're in third gear, fine, up to fourth. For this corner here, really don't need to, you don't really need to brake to go into it. When you start to go into the curve, into this curve, you might need to back the throttle off a little bit, and then you turn in. Depending on how much steering you put in the front of the car, you might scrub the fronts, and that might help slow the car down. But this is one, by feel, if you're relying on the braking line, as soon as that starts to go yellow, start playing around with how early you can get back in the throttle, because you want to carry as much speed down to the hairpin as you can. The exit, I bring the car all the way out, and I look at cones. I look at the second set of cones to line me up, and a lot of times I will flirt and use the painted surface here. Again, the curbing, red and white, but there's really no curbing at all. You can just go right out here, straddle this, So I'll probably drop the left sides here. I'll drop the left sides and then start to bring the car back across to the right. So fifth gear at this point, for me, you might be up to sixth. You might be in fifth. Who knows? Um, Braking for the hairpin, I'm still trying to sort this out. Oops. It is, again, the practice thing puts it, right before the 100 board. Again, this is where it's like, I like that they do this, but the problem is that it's not there in the race. So if you get used to looking for the timing line, that's not going to be there in the race. It's like, where do I brake? So what I'm spotting and just kind of using to gauge is the orange paint at the end of the Armco is a good reference point. That by the time I'm passing that and or getting right to the end of this curbing, the red and white is about where I'm going to be trying to brake. So it's somewhere in here. As I get more comfortable, I'll probably try to brake a little bit later. But the idea is that I want to be able to get the car slowed down and turned in. The exit of this corner is more important than the entry, because this again leads on to one of the longest straights on the track. I haven't measured. I don't know if this straight's longer or if this second straight's longer, but certainly exit's more important than the entry. To that end, I don't know that I'm getting a good exit yet. So brake, 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 brake. I'm differing from the suggested line here, and it's mostly my driving style that's dictating that, at least at this point, because I'm still trying to get up to speed and kind of figure out how I'm taking these turns. So I want to get all my braking done first, release the brakes as I turn in, and then on turn in, if I can, balance the car with the throttle on the way out. I'd rather do that. I know there are some people that will trail brake all the way in and be using the braking all the way into the apex and then turn around. I'm not saying one is better than the other. It's just, again, it's preference. So because I tend to do all my braking, I want to get all my braking done in a straight line, where at least right now, where the braking line is going to start to turn in for the hairpin, I'll still be braking a little bit straight. I might, as I get used to it, I might start to be able to trail brake in a little bit better. But right now I'm doing my braking mostly in a straight line, releasing and then turning in, and then trying to intersect the braking line. It is a late, ideally this is a late apex. You want to late apex it, so when you're back here, you can start to think about rolling back into the throttle. Depending on your gearing, this could be, for me, this is, unfortunately, it's I've got a choice. I can do it in third or do it in second. Second, definitely if I'm in traffic or I'm trying to set something up. Third might be better if I get a good entry speed in and can keep, kind of, if I have it in third, still kind of keep the revs up, so I'm kind of in the good power range on the way out. But be careful of the wheel spin on the way out. If you're too aggressive on the throttle, bring it out to the right side, and then we're back on the front straight. Well, not the front straight, the first back straight. So again, you can go all the way up to the right side. Usually as soon as I'm out of the corner, I tend to bring it about, just to the right of mid-track, just so that I'm, already, I don't have to make any major adjustments as the track narrows. I don't know why they narrowed, who made the choice, like, what we should do? We should narrow the track right before braking. I don't know why, but it is what it is. But at least that way, if I set up earlier, I'm kind of already, in place. I've kind of set my position. Hopefully nobody tries to draft on the outside, kind of leaving more room to the left side. And that's typically where if you're going to draft, most people are going to try to pass on the left. For this corner, I'm finding the braking line lies to you. It's gonna, it is about the 150. This is where my short-term memory, I gotta get better at this. The braking line, at least for me right now on soft tires, if I wait until it goes red to brake, it's too late. I'm struggling to get the car slowed down without locking up. So it's usually, for me, it's right about where it's yellow. As I'm getting to that, right before it goes red, it does kind of correlate with the 150 board, with the transition from the blue paint to the red and white stripes there. Again, because I'm gun shy on curbing, you probably could get away with getting on out here to set up for the turn. I've not progressed to that level yet. I think I'm still a little bit gun shy, just because I don't know what curbs are safe and what ones aren't yet. So you might be able to move out and use a bit of this this entry getting into the corner, and maybe it doesn't change up here. Yep, that's why I don't do it. Haha, I knew there was a reason why I stay off the curbing. So, leading up to the braking, it's going to look tempting to try and use as much road as possible, but just know that the curbing changes, and it's probably not a good idea. Brake, 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 brake. Again, this chicane. This is very late turn in, very late apex in this first one. I don't know that I've done it quite correctly yet with the way the braking line. Because again, it's one of these, you're setting up on another long straight, so you want to sacrifice this entry as much as you can and keep the car to the left as much as you can, so that it opens up the right turn and makes it a little bit easier. I haven't been able to do that yet, and especially on the hard tires. More often than not, I probably will push a little bit wide and then totally sacrifice my exit speed on the next corner. So, but try to at least don't go further out than mid-track if you can help it, because you do want to set up for this next corner, and this next corner is really tricky because you've got the angle curving in the inside that's not going to help you. You've got a sausage curve on top of that that's going to upset the car. Plus, this curb, you're kind of uphill cresting over. You don't get any help from the road at all. In fact, this is an evil turn, and for me, it's a second gear. You're not running traction control. It's really easy to get the car upset, spin the tires up, and send yourself off on the right side, I guess, depending on how you spin. But ideally, you want to try and use as much of this curving as possible. Hopefully, so that by the time you're apexing, you can start to unwind that wheel, so that as you get back into the throttle, you don't have as much weight in the left side, to where the car is going to then, if it gets upset, it'll want to spin out. But this will be one of the hardest turns to get right consistently. Bring the car out. Second gear, third gear onto the second long straight at Yas Marina. Now, I've got two philosophies on, because it's got two bends before the next braking zone. So there's two schools of thought. My tendency is on this first kink, I tend to start to bring the car out to the least to the middle and start bringing it over to the right side, setting up for the next, I guess I'll call it the next hairpin. The other option is, depending if you want to be cheeky, you could also hug the inside through this first kink, because I don't think it really sacrifices much of your speed to do that. And then at the second kink, let the car just kind of drift out to the right, to set up for the next corner. Either works. It depends what you want to do in traffic. Just don't do anything sudden, because again, this will be the other case of, people are going to be looking for the draft. So if you're going to make that decision, make it early so that at least you're predictable. Ooh, that was loud. That was right towards the mic. But knowing me, I'll probably be mid-track at this point, and I'm aiming, to have the car out to the right side here by the first board at 200. So I like having the car out here. Braking for this next corner, I'm still trying to sort it out. I think I know what I need to do. I just haven't been able to do it. In the old Yas Marina, I was kind of always using the inside scoreboard there, the LCD board, as a reference point. I think really what's going to be consistent, if you can spot it, is about the 150 board. It's also, you can see where the pavement changes from when they redid this section of the track. So that to me is a good reference to kind of keep in mind looking at for braking. Ideally, let's say I'll be in fifth gear. For me, it's at least down a gear to fourth. And this is where, again, I'm not a good trail breaker, and I think this is why I struggle here. Because I'm used to the old Yas's brake, release, and then just kind of balance here through. But for this one, it is a more of a trail, I think, is more of a trail braking in. So you're going to do an initial braking to get the car to the first apex. And at least right now, I'm usually letting off the brake a little bit here, giving maybe a little bit of maintenance throttle. But once I get past this point, it is getting off the throttle, possibly, again, a second trail braking to slow the car down to third gear. What I'm trying to do is to get the car out to the outside here, right about where we're passing under the banner thing. Banner thing. Yeah, highly descriptive terms here. Yeah, but I'm trying to get the car out to where I'm on the right side by the time I'm getting to the banner, so that I can set up. And again, it's kind of a late apex on the way out. that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I think the right line is. I'm still playing with it. But as I get out of this corner, I'm going to bring the car back to the left. Even though there's a kink here, I'm going to miss this initial apex before for the Richard Mill sign. Bring the car out. And this is the other braking I'm still figuring out. Maybe try and stay off that curbing. I'm I'm going to be running hard tires, so I don't know that I can get away with this. But I think for me, as I turn in, just as I get to the inside apex, I'm probably going to let off the gas a little bit just to help get the car settled, so that when I hit the brakes here, I want to hit the brakes hard enough to slow the car down, obviously, but I want to be so much on the brakes that the car is not going to want to turn, or so I don't end up going in a straight line off on the left side. So I really want to be able to get the car load down out here, down to second gear for me, and turn in. Again, here's inside curbing. It will upset the car a little bit. You can use a bit of it. Second gear, out. May not go all the way to the inside. May try to keep it about mid-track so I can set up for here. Still second gear. Again, going to try and use as much of the curb as I can without upsetting the car. Bring the car out. Still second gear. Late apex this one. Out, third gear. Maybe up to fourth. And it used to be, and I think they've changed this turn as well. This one doesn't seem as severe of a turn as it used to be. So I'm still trying to sort this one out. You can actually charge into this corner a little bit, and maybe about the time that you get to this, I need to pay more attention to this. But I think right about the time that I'm getting up to this orange marking on the Armco is where I need to, at least let off the gas a little bit, possibly maybe just tap the brake. We'll see how it is on the hard tires. Back on the throttle, out, fourth gear. The game wants you to use the exit curbing here, but it is, at least for me, the setup I'm running, it is upsetting the car a little bit. It'll just take some getting used to. I think the idea is if you're going to use this outside curbing, make sure you're on it straight. Braking for the final turn does seem to line up with the blend line for pit entry. So brake here. For me, I'll be down to third. And I usually turn in too early for this corner, but late apex back onto the front straight. You can use a little bit of the exit curbing and start to bring the car back across. But that's kind of what I'm experiencing with Yas. Again, for my own testing, I used a 6-gear tune to start and then went to the 5. I think for me it works better. I'm not sure, setup wise. I mean, I've shared the tune I'm currently using. If you want to give it a shot, it's TNT Yas. But even I'm debating, again, I'm not a setup wizard. I tend to whatever the default tune that I get out of Forza Tune Pro, put that on the car, and then I kind of work with what it gives me. This one, I don't know if I want to start, if I've got the time and effort to go down the rabbit's hole to okay, do I soften the suspension a little bit to make it more compliant over the bumps, but then what does that do? We'll see. I might do that, and maybe that helps get the power down out of the slow corners, but we'll find out. But with that, let's go ahead and get out of here. I'm going to go back to, I'm going to quit entirely and then reset up the mock race. Lap times were just shy of 2 minutes, so I'm going to, I'm for the format now that Matt's kind of balancing us, so BOPing us based on tire strategy. I'm not sure if we're going to do a qualifying next week, but if not, then it's about a 30-minute race. So I'm going to do 14 for this. We'll just see how long it takes. Let's go ahead and set this up. So, yep, we're going to do I'm on my fifth C8.R to level up to 50. It's like, I want that achievement. Let's go ahead. We'll do, nope, we want to do circuit race. That's fine. So long, but we're going to do custom because we're going to do like 14 laps. And starting time of day, I'm going to back it up a little bit. Do late morning. I will say, if we get sunset, the sun coming into the penultimate turn is brutal. But hopefully we, love to have a night race. I think we always used to do night races at Yas, but Time progression rolling. We'll leave it. I'm going to go random, but I'm not going to do, if it comes up with random, I'm going to reload it because, yeah, we'll do random because if I do variable, it'll always rain. Driver title difficulty 8, that's fine. Driver title design's on. Number of driver towers 23. You would think I would save these settings by now, but no, we'll just go through it. Forza GT, model family. We like running against the Corvettes. That seems to make an interesting race. Chevrolet Corvette. That's fine. Rules. Expert rules. Ghost back markers. No. Grid ordering. We're going to go random. Standing start. Actually, I'm curious. I want to go PI, but ascending grid order. Yes. Whoops. I actually want to see where I wind up when I do ascending grid order versus random. End of race timer, no, compare past lap. Mandatory pit stops 1, number of teams, nope, don't need any of that. Okay, let's click OK on that. New. Yeah, no. We're gonna reload.
The 21-turn Yas Marina circuit was designed by famous track designer Herman Tilke. Situated on Yas Island near Abu Dhabi, this track wraps around a scenic marina and trackside luxury hotel.
That's nice to know, thank you very much. But let's just check event. Let's do driver list. Yeah, it's putting me. It's putting me right about the middle, based off of that. So, and slower guys in front of me, faster guys behind me. All right, we'll try that. Oops. We'll try that, but actually, I'm sorry for event setup. I still like late morning. Actually, we're going to go random. And random. There we go. Try this again. Sorry, I don't like rain. Looming clouds. I will take looming clouds at 7 a.m. in the morning, so track a little bit cold. Okay. And I think I should still be event. There we go, driver list. Yeah, I'm still starting about mid-pack, so that's what the game likes to do on that. Fair enough. So go to car, fuel and tire. Now for the BOP, since I'm in the fastest group, I've got to run hards the entire race, so I might as well practice that. We said we're going to do 14 laps, so we'll put about 15 laps fuel in, because I don't like messing with that during the pit stops. 14 laps, okay, done. Sorry, we'll do start race. I meant to go check the event info, but that's my fault. I'm pretty sure the quick stop was still set. Hard tire compound is obviously less grip, but it takes about 2 laps. At least what I found last week. It took about 2 laps for it to fully come up to 10. A little short shifting. Back up a little early, and don't need to be here on the first lap. Room on the inside. I'm trying to leave you room. That man. That's my fault. I'm sorry. Full tires. What I'm hoping for on this is that I'm putting the fast guys in the back. Whoa, that makes me weird. tires didn't like that. Here you go, in the race, this is where I'm going to struggle. Just on pace. Because everybody else is going to have more, well, almost everybody else will have more grip than me through there. Turning point's right about where the curve transitions on the right side there. I'll try and point it out a little better next time. Yeah, I see you taking a look. So that's what I got to watch out for in the race. If I can't get my entry to that corner closer to what the braking line suggests. Hoping is with the faster, at least the higher PAI cars in the back, that those guys start to move forward. I got a little bit of a challenge maybe towards the end of the race. Yeah, and so not getting any help on the exit curving because it kind of crests over the hill and it's kind of off camber as well. And I'm on hard tires. Come on. Ooh, that was bad. Third gear. I didn't damage anything, so. Yeah, so with that, you can see where the pavement goes dark on the inside there is another good reference point for your turn in. Can't see the braking line. A little bit better. I'll try that in second gear next lap, see what happens. I have no confidence on when to get on the throttle through there. And I gotta watch my downshifts on the straights. Will probably be. Hello, come on. A lot of curving there. Even and straddle the exit curbing on one. Finally, the tires are working. Of course, I'm probably a bit smoother. Still missing that apex, but oh, that's late. I want your toe down this string. I don't. If I don't mess the hairpin up. After the second one here. I got a little bit of the toe, but I'm not going to be at a place to try and make a pass. Just not close enough. Yeah, I may run traction control through here. Let's just see what happens. Yeah. Close enough to make that stick. Bit of an exit, but he's got the inside line. Wasn't expecting that. That's late. Don't hit me. Break the transition. with. Yeah, I think part of my issue is that I'm releasing the brake after heading into that first apex, thinking that I've got time to get back to the brakes, and I don't. So I think it's just one of those. I just got to get used to. Just again, I got to learn to show brake. So we will pit this lap. Let's see where we cycle out. Let's see if I've learned any lessons here. Still getting a little too wide. Alright, let's see. Where does pit lane catch me? Oh, very late. So yeah, you're going to have to really make sure you get into pit lane, because it's not going to catch you until you clear the arm cone. Hard tires. Skip. Spit. I think I can spare a hundredth of a second for drive chain health. Oh, and yes, Marina. Long pit lane in the tunnel. Alright, so if it releases where I think it releases, it should be at the top of the hill here, starting to head down towards the hairpin. Yep, so stay on my side of the course, and hard tires are going to push a little wide, kill a few cones. So Darth is pitted, so I want somebody to race. The other thing I have to remember is I've got to turn the wheel. I'm still getting used to the times of the 900 free steering. I know I can change it in the setup, but a little slow. Brake, sorry. Oop, you're still there. good exit onto the stretch and draft Darth to the next corner. I think it's still a little too far back. Sitting duck in the race there. I'm just so hard to get the power down consistently. I almost did it again. Well, not almost. I did do it again. I'm like, oh, I can get back to the throttle with it. No, I cannot. I've actually got to brake all the way to both apexes. What? Take those, thank you. Tend to turn a little early for one. It's so far over the curb in there. Alright, so now I'm using the end of the red and white curbing on the right side as a braking reference. to stay off that curving on the outside. Turning in too early there.
Three more.
So the turn in, and I think the proper turn in for turn one is, you'll see the painted Armco on the right side. As at least from the hood view, as that's going on my frame, that's seems to be like the ideal. We're using that as a turn-in reference. Assuming that, because I can't see the full leaderboard, but I'm assuming assuming second place hasn't gone in the pits yet either, just given how far ahead they are. A little bit of that draft. It's not over yet. Outside and maybe look for the crossover if he takes a dive. Nope, he settles in. That's better. next time we'll start a little further back. Well, Le Mans I'm probably going to start all the way at the back just because of the Mulsanne Straight. I actually want to really see what the draft is like. A wheel spin on the exit. That's probably the best I've taken that this race. Minute flat on the hard tires, roughly. So 29, yep, 14 laps. So I would say just based off my own, 14 laps is probably about what the race would be if we're aiming for a 30-minute race. If there's qualifying, then it'll probably be at least 12 laps at that point. But that's Yas Marina. Again, I'm still struggling to figure this one out myself. So there might be a little more time on the table, but I think most of the issue for me, I think, is just the overall lack of grip. So I've got to try and figure something out that maybe I do need to go and just, maybe soften the suspension a little bit, just so that the tires have a little bit more of a chance to grip before they give up. So that's on me. I'll try and sort that out. But I hope you guys are having a great weekend. I'm going to take a couple-minute break so I can kind of reset up, and then we'll do the track guide for Le Mans, though, Le Mans is mostly full throttle. Mostly the straight, so I'm not sure how much I can teach there, but hope you're having a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Happy racing.